What's happening, family? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with my people. Now, before I get started, let me give my usual shout out to the JBT community. Just boxing talk. We're just a group of people that love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast or a channel or anything like that. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. The Rise Podcast in the building. Salute the Rise Podcast. That's the JBT anchor leg. Closes it down every night at 9 o'clock. You know, save the best for last. Because that's what you're going to remember. Salute to the Rise Podcast. Al Booger in the building. What's up, Al Booger? Salute. We got Ace in the building. Salute, Ace. Welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the History Channel. This is the Wednesday afternoon edition. The old hump day. It's all downhill from here. How is everyone this afternoon? Hope your day is rolling along okay. I'm good now that I'm here with a few of my people. Gonna get some more in a few. And today we're gonna talk about boxing judges. You know, we're going to talk about a little history of them, how they come up to their decisions, you know, type of decisions, different types of decisions, that sort of thing. We're going to talk about that 10-point must system they're always talking about. Because some of these decisions, man, are just crazy. Sometimes I see the decision and make me think I was watching the wrong channel or something. So they can't be judging the fight I was watching. Like that fight in Japan a couple weeks, was it last week on a Tuesday? It comes on in the morning. They had the Japanese guy. I had the other guy almost doing a shutout. But then they gave the Japanese guy the fight by a very wide margin. One judge only gave the other guy one round. So I was saying, wow, there must be another fight on this morning. It wasn't the fight I was watching. Mike Masick, salute. How are you today, Mike? Victoria Thomas, that's Miss Cass. She's in here on another one of her accounts today. But salute Miss Cass. Tim Layton, hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, Tim? How you doing today, bro? That's Tim Layton. Knows his boxing. Got one of them crazy memories, man. Like I always say, you know how you ask your chat about something about boxing or anything sometimes, and Tim will have the answer in the chat before you finish answering the question. Salute, Tim Layton. How are you today, bro? Yeah, we're going to get into the boxing judges today. And some people may think, some of these things I talk about on here are small things, but because of course, the most important part about sport is when the two people get in there in the ring and exchange punches, and that's the part we like the most. But that's just a part of it. It's a whole lot goes into a boxing match. Well, I'll talk about these things: promotional companies, sanctioning bodies, trainers, coaches, managers, different types of boxing styles, sparring, training camps. I'll talk about it all. Because if you just learn a little bit about those things, it'll definitely make you a better fan, And we're a big part of it too, the boxing fans. Might have to do a show on boxing fans one day. Yeah. I try to wait till about 2:30, give a few more people time to come into the building. Everybody, give a salute to Ace. First time he's been here. Hope it ain't his last time. Victoria Thomas, what happened to Miss Cass? Salute. But everybody, day rolling along okay? Yeah, I made a mistake yesterday too when I was talking about the sanctioning bodies that I'm going to do on Friday. I said the WBO was the one that had the big scandal where the president and his son got arrested, went to prison. It was the IBF. Okay. Sorry about that. It wasn't the WBO, it was the IBF. But I'm going to talk about all of them on Friday. Mike Rhyme in the building. Salute to Mike Rhyme. Welcome aboard another episode of Cast Sports, the History Channel. Did y'all see that Friday show of hashtag Let's Talk Fashion this morning? Remo's latest episode. Another fire show, as we knew it would be. Yeah. If you haven't checked that out, you need to check it out. Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion from Remo. It's worth the wait. He makes his wait a week for him, but it's worth it. Makes it even better, Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion. It's just a blend of fashion, sports, entertainment, and life. From Remo. Also has www.richthreads.com. So he's an expert, perfect one to have a show on fashion. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to talk about referees. That old 10-point must system. Try to get some insight how they come to these decisions. Some of them are crazy, Different types of decisions, draws, Tomorrow will be on trainers. And Friday will be the sanctioning bodies. Cast Sports, the History Channel. Got to give you a different perspective, Like I was just saying, the part we enjoy the most and the most important part is when the two people get into the ring and mix it up. But that's just the end result. It's a whole lot goes into it before we get to that point. And that's where I come in at. I try to explain all the other parts that gets us to that end result when they actually get in there and mix it up, A whole lot goes into it, a boxing match. and hashtag JBT, Just Boxing Talk. We're growing. Fire community. We got a fire lineup going in these YouTube streets daily. And we have a weekly show too. Looking to add some more shows to the lineup. The Boxing Menu Podcast. You came in right on cue, bro. That's one of the probably new shows that can potentially be added to the lineup. The Boxing Menu Podcast has been discussing starting a show. He came in right on time, didn't he? Salute, Boxing Menu Podcast. How are you today, bro? We're going to talk about judging. I just try to wait till about 2:30. Get a few people in the building. But salute to the Boxing Menu Podcast. We're into halfway through the week, old hump day. What we got this weekend anyway? I think we got a card from the UK. I think it's a few UK fighters on there. Only one I really know about. Well, the main event is Jonathan Buatsi and Dan Aziz. I think this light heavyweight, but then we got Carlin DuBois. A nice women's fight. She's the sister of Daniel DuBois, by the way. That's fought in the Day of Reckoning. He fought Big Boy. The original Big Baby, remember? Yeah, his sister is fighting Saturday. I think she's at lightweight. She was chasing, I believe, Katie Taylor. You know, Katie Taylor was undisputed at lightweight, but she hadn't fought there in over a year. And she's also undisputed at junior welterweight, you know. And Carolyn was trying to get a shot at the belts. Saying, how can I get my shot when the champion hold up the belts in this division, but campaigning in another division, you know? But that's boxing for you. We love it, but it's got its ways. Yeah. But that's on Saturday. And it had by her name to be announced. I never understand that. We're in fight week. You don't know who you're fighting yet? You see that happen pretty often. How can you get in fight week and your opponent is still to be announced? What are they going to show up at the weigh-in or something? Before you know who you're fighting? That's weird. They had one like that a few weeks back, and then I think Sergey Derevyanchenko had to be announced all the way up to fight week. Then he finally just dropped out and didn't fight. Yeah, we're going to talk about the judges. Oh yeah, we're going to talk. Let's look at those. We had some pro box last night. Let's look at that right quick. Pro box last night. Okay. Almost forgot about that. Had 4 fights. And it's at a place called the White Sands Event Center from Plant City, Florida. Okay. I don't even know what part of Florida that is, but Plant City. Okay. Now the main event was Angelo Lee. He fought against a guy named Mike Planier, right? And it actually wasn't a title belt. It was for the WBA Continental North America featherweight title. Okay. Now both of these guys are still in their 20s, but they both have a good professional experience. Leo was 29 years old, American. He came in with a record of 22 wins, 1 loss with 10 knockouts. Not bad. Okay. Lives and trains in Las Vegas. He's a former WBO junior featherweight champion. He lost his belt to schoolboy Stephen Fulton in 2021. He's won 2 fights since losing that fight to Schoolboy. Yeah, pro boxers tonight, yeah. He's won 2 fights since losing that fight to Cool Boy. And his last outing was a dominating 9th round stoppage of Nicholas Polanco last November. Now, win tonight could potentially put Leo into another title fight. It could be like 1 or 2 fights away from another title shot if he can win this fight tonight. Yup. Angelo Leo. Now the guy he's going up against, Polanco, he's from the Philippines. Okay. Comes into this fight with a record of 29 wins, 3 losses. 26 years old. Won 3 of his last 4. Okay. And all 3 of those coming by stoppage. In his last fight, he knocked out Daniel Nicholas in the first round. So made quick work of his opponent in his last fight. The co-main is Trevor McCombie versus Christopher Pearson. And this is pro boxers night. You know, get some pretty good fights. Middle of the week boxing, you know. It's all the fights we got, middle of the week, so. But anyway, the co-main is Trevor McCombie versus Christopher Pearson. 10-round super middleweight clash, okay? Now, McCombie comes in 27-0, you know. 1 no contest, 21 knockouts. Halfway decent knockout rate. He lives in Glendale, Arizona. And he came back last year from a 4-year hiatus, okay, May 6th, and got a knockout in his first fight back against Vincent Rodriguez. 31 years old. And then he got back in the ring 7 weeks later, after 4 years. Fought twice in a couple months, okay, and got 2 knockouts. So, hey, I want to get a look at him tonight. Like I say, not a bad knockout rate. 21 knockouts in 27 fights. Haven't lost yet. So, yeah, Daniel McCombie. I mean, Trevor McCombie tonight on Pro Box. Don't sound too bad. Now he's going up against Christopher Pearson. Now Pearson has only fought 2 times since a career best unanimous decision victory over previously unbeaten Yamaguchi Falcao, okay, in May 2019. He's only fought twice since then, okay, been kind of inactive. Now in his last fight this past August, he got a split decision draw, split against Derek Webster. He's from Selma, Texas, and comes in with a record of 17 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 12 knockouts. There's Remo, #JBT. Great show this morning, Remo. Another good one. Yeah, I was just talking about it before you came in. I don't know if you were listening. Yeah. If anybody haven't checked out that # Let's Talk Fashion from this morning, get over there and check it out. Another good one from Remo. It was worth the wait. You know, it's every Wednesday, but hey, fire shows, man. So good, I had to share it with some of my people. Yeah. Had to hit the old share button on this one, Remo. Outdid yourself. Good work, bro. Good work. Proud of you. Okay. Everybody get over there and check out that # Let's Talk Fashion from this morning. Okay, then the next fight is, did I say it? Pearson comes in with a record of 17 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 12 knockouts. There's 4 fights on the card. That was the co-main. The third fight is Ramiro Duno. He's 26-3, 20 knockouts. This is Pro Box tonight, by the way. Okay, 20 knockouts. He's from the Philippines also. He's going up against the Mexico City's Antonio Moran. Remember him? That's the one Devin had that knockout of the year candidate against a few years back. Oh, Antonio, veteran fighter. Antonio is 29-6 with one draw, 20 knockouts. This is a 10-round fight. Catch weight, 137. Oh, Antonio's still down there? That fight was years ago against Devin. He was at 135, didn't he? Fighting at 137 catch weight now. Wow. Okay. Then in the opening fight on the card tonight, unbeaten featherweight prospect Michael Gamble, 6-0, 4 knockouts, starting out with a pretty good knockout rate. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Excuse me for me. Okay. I was doing the thing on my phone and hit my volume chart. But he's from Cincinnati, Ohio. Good-looking prospect. Michael Gamble, 6-0, 4 knockouts. In action tonight on Pro Box. Worth checking him out. And the other guy, Macombi. Okay. So those are two good fights worth checking out there. The first fight and then the co-main. And the main event is going to be a good one, too. Guy used to be a champion. It's in the main event. He lost his belt to the Cool Boy. 2021, I believe it was. And Michael Gamble is fighting against Damian Alcala. He's 7-3, 1 knockout from Chula Vista, California. This is for 6 rounds. Okay. Now today's show is going to be about boxing judges. Let's get ready to get on into it. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little history of it. Okay. Little history about the boxing judge. Hey, Remo, I'm just giving credit where credit is due, bro. You're doing some good work over there, man. So, got to shout it out. Glad you're a part of the JBT. Yeah. Quality work. Okay. Little history about the boxing judges. All right. Yeah, my phone is at 51. That's in good shape. Now, bear with me for one moment, please. I got to do something real quick. I will be right with you. Here we go. I am ready. Ready, Freddy. Okay, Now, boxing judge is responsible for judging the results of a boxing match, with as many as 3 judges typically present at ringside to score the bout and assign points to the boxers, based on punches that connect, defense, knockdowns, and other more subjective measures. So we're going to get into those subjective measures in a little while. Okay. Now, at the Olympic or World Championship level, there are usually 5 judges. Now, a boxing match that is not ended in a knockout, TKO, or disqualification can reach the limit on the preset number of rounds has gone the distance, and the fighter with the highest score at the end of the fight is ruled the winner. Now, with 3 judges, unanimous decisions and split decisions are possible, as are draws. That is also something called a majority decision. I'm going to explain all that in a little while. Now, because of the open-ended style of boxing judging, fights may end with controversial results, okay, in which one of the fighters may believe they have been robbed or unfairly denied a victory. A draw will result if all three judges call the fight even. Or if one judge favors one fighter, a second judge's card supports the other fighter, and the third calls the fight a draw. Okay. You got to get a majority, at least two judges, to get a winner. Okay. Thomas Hill, JBT in the building. What's up, T Hill? Salute. Went over these judges today. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT in the building. The mayor of YouTube. What's up, Mr. Mayor? Okay, now. Yeah, like I was saying, fights man with controversial results. And I'm going to explain all the different types of decisions, including draws and all that in a little while. Now, the March 1999 heavyweight unification bout between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis at Madison Square Garden is an example of a draw, where all three judges had scored the fight differently. Okay, Eugenia Williams gave Holyfield the fight. Stanley Christodoulou, that's what I talked about him yesterday, remember? He gave Lewis the fight. Larry O'Connor called the fight a draw. Okay. Now that's called a majority draw. Wait a minute. That's called a split draw. And a split draw is the only type of decision where all three judges rule differently. Split draw. Okay? Now, immediate rematch was result led to calls for an immediate rematch between the two fighters. Now, the majority draw is extremely rare. That results when two of the three judges call the fight even, which means the fight will be called a draw, regardless of what the third judge favors. Okay, because you got to get two judges, and the draw got the two judges. So that's the majority. Even if one judge gives it to one fighter, but two calls it a draw, then it's a draw. But you got to go with the majority. 2 out of 3 is the majority, right? Okay. Now, there are some scoring systems used in boxing that make it impossible for a judge to award equal points for a match. If a championship fight ends in a draw, the champion retains his title. No brainer, right? You didn't beat him. Okay? Now, yeah, that was a nice show last night. Just Do was up there. Yeah, the Rise podcast was on fire last night, as it usually is every night, you know. But yeah, super great show super great coach. Senior, Just Do, the coaches, Kenny and Cal. Great show. Really enjoyed that. Okay, yeah. If a championship fight ends in a draw, then the champion retains his belt, you know. You got to take it. They're not going to give it to you. Now, boxing had always traditionally been a sport for males, right? With men performing the officiating. Now, the first female boxing judge, Carol Paulus, was appointed in 1973. And they got that lady, Ada Leigh Bird. She's Robert Byrd, the referee's wife. She is horrible, man. Always giving out bad decisions. I don't know how they keep them. Remo says, I'm an advocate of a 13th round. Wow. They had 15, Remo. It would be advantageous to have an even number. Then I guess, you couldn't get no draws, right? Yeah, they had 15, but they came back to 12. Maybe they should have came back to 13, Remo, right? Yeah. Yeah, when they dropped 15, they came back to the even number. So, yeah. But anyway, Carol Paulus was appointed in 1973. Right, she was the first female judge. Now, Eva Shane appointed as a judge a year later by the New York State Athletic Commission. Okay. And now Carl Paulus was the first female judge, but Eva Shane was the first woman to judge a heavyweight title fight. Okay. She did the fight between Ernie Shavers and Muhammad Ali. Madison Square Garden, September 29th, 1977. You know, Muhammad won that one. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how is boxing sport. I'm going to go into the 10-point must system, all that stuff. I did this on time a while back, but that was when I only had like 1 or 2 people coming in, and they really liked it. And I'm going to do the history of the sanctioning bodies tomorrow. Yep. And like I was saying earlier, for the people that just came in, I made a mistake yesterday when I was talking about the big scandal with the president of the sanctioning body and his son went to prison. I said WBO, but it was really the IBF. Okay, it was the IBF, but the Bob father was still mixed up in it. And yeah, we're gonna go over that Friday. Tomorrow's gonna be trainers. Just like I did the referees yesterday, I'm gonna pick out I'm gonna talk about trainers, a little history of them and what they do and everything. And then I'm gonna pick out 10 famous trainers and just do a brief profile on their life and career. And it's not gonna be a best, the worst or anything. It's just gonna be 10 great trainers, just like the judges. So that's how we do it on Cash Sports, the History Channel. Try to give you a look at all the different aspects of our sport, you know. Because as I said, the most important part and the part we enjoy the most is when the 2 people get in the ring and mix it up. But that's just a part of it. That's the end result. But a whole lot goes into a boxing match than just those 2 people in the ring mixing it up. That's just the end result. And I'll try to touch on the other aspects of it. Because, like I said, you just know a little bit about the other part of the sport, it makes you a better fan, okay? So let's look at how is boxing scored, okay? Points, rules, scores, and deduction used by judges and referees, okay? We did referees yesterday. You know, boxing has always had some questionable decisions and refereeing, but these last few years have been ridiculous, man. I mean, they show they have an agenda, and they cheat. And at least back in the day, they tried to hide it a little bit, but now they just cheat. And look at George Kambosos and Maxie Hughes. That fight was like 10-2, Maxie Hughes. But George Kambosos got his hand raised at the end. So they got an agenda, and they're going to reach that agenda no matter what happens in the fight. They wanted George Kambosos against Lomachenko. Maxie Hughes wasn't a fight. But we are still getting George Kambosos and Lomachenko, okay? They didn't want Maxie Hughes and Lomachenko. They wanted George Kambosos and Lomachenko. And it made no difference that Maxie Hughes wasn't a fight. They got George and Lomachenko. Lonnie Lee, #JBT salute. Welcome to another episode of Cash Sports, the History Channel. So you done made it through hump day, huh, Lonnie? It's all downhill now to the weekend. Lonnie just got off work. Come in to join us on Cash Sports. Appreciate Lonnie Lee. #JBT. Salute to Lonnie Lee, everybody. Everybody smash the like. Please. I appreciate it. Helps the channel, helps me grow, helps bring other people in here. And leave a comment if it's not too much trouble. Okay. Now, how do judges come up with these scores? Now, even you can study and go through all the articles about scoring you want to. You will never know how some of these judges come up with these scores. It's just ridiculous, man. Like I was telling you about the fight in Japan on Tuesday of last week. I had the guy winning by wide decision. One judge gave him 1 round. So I'm thinking it must be another fight on. You know how Japan fights come on 6, 7 in the morning. I'm I'm thinking there must be another fight on this morning because I was watching the wrong fight. The judges, it was ridiculous, man. It was totally ridiculous. Somebody sends me a message that says, Timothy, I've reached out 3 times to you. Well, too bad my name ain't Timothy. Maybe they're trying to reach you, Tim. I don't know. Okay. Now, the sport of professional boxing has always appealed based on the promise of spectacular, dramatic, and brutal knockouts. Now, when a fighter can land a finishing shot or combo on the opponent to the point that they cannot continue, the contest comes to an immediate stop, right? Regardless of how many rounds it was supposed to last. However, if no knockout occurs and the bell sounds for the final time, how exactly do we decide a winner? Okay. Now, scoring in boxing is more complex than, say, soccer, where whoever scores the most goals wins, right? Like football, basketball, baseball. Whoever scores the most wins. Okay. Simple. Now, as a result, boxing draws a much higher volume of controversy and debate because of the way it's scored, right? Now, if you're looking to figure out how it works or want to clear up a particular part of the process, you come to the right place. Okay. Now, who scores a boxing fight? Judges or the referee? Now, in most fights, 3 judges are seated at ringside to watch the fight up close. Now, those judges are approved by the same body that licenses the fights, okay? And when possible, are usually from a neutral location compared to the fighters. For example, if an American boxer is facing a French boxer, judges from Canada, Britain, and Mexico may be preferred. Similarly, if a small British promoter has 2 English fighters face off, and one is from home while the other is from London, perhaps judges from Manchester, Southampton, Cardiff, etc. Okay, follow me? You try to get judges from different locations where it's easier to combat them, so if possible. Now, I was saying in the Olympics, you should never have a judge and one of the competitors from the same country. It's enough amateur judges to avoid that, but it happened. It happened to Evander Holyfield in '84, and he got disqualified. Clearly, the referee clearly cheated. The referee and one of the fighters from the same place in the Olympics. Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah. Now, 3-judge system is mandatory for championship fight. 3 judges. However, if a newly turned professional is making their debut in a 4-round fight, such fights are often judged by one person, and one person alone, the referee. Okay? So we still have some fights that referees do, but normally like 4-round fights. Okay? You'll never see a referee judging a championship fight. 3 judges are required, mandatory for championship fight. Okay, now how is the fight scored? Okay, how's the fight scored? Now, the modern boxing scoring system is known as the 10-point must system. Here is a basic overview of how it works. Okay. Now, I did this the first time, and I'm going by them, but when I did it myself, I think I was a little bit better, but my notes are old and kind of faded out. So, but this is not too far off. But my notes were better. But I was looking at them yesterday, and they just, they're only like 3 months old, but they got it kind of in bad shape. But this is good. Okay. Now, Here's a basic overview of how the 10-point must system works, right? Now, judges score each round individually on a 10-point scale, right? Follow me? Most rounds are scored 10-9, with the boxer who did better scoring 10 and winning the round, with the other fighter getting 9. Okay? Now, if a boxer is knocked down or hurt enough to prompt a standing 8 count from the referee, the fighter loses a point. So, if a boxer dominated the round, controlling it and landing better punches throughout, and also knocks the opponent down, the end result is a 10-8 round. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about a little bit about that later, because it's possible to get a 10-8 round without a knockdown. Okay? Now, if both fighters score a knockdown in the same round, the deductions cancel each other out. So it would probably still be a 10-9 round in favor of the better fighter for that round. Okay? Now, a judge is able to award a 10-8 round without a knockdown if the fighter scoring 10 dominates the round by a huge margin. This is usually only used if the round is total one-way traffic, or perhaps if a fighter was saved from a knockdown by the bell. Okay, in bad trouble at the bell, about to be knocked down. But that's what I was saying. You can get a 10-8. It's very rarely, but you can get a 10-8 without a knockdown. Judges are also able to award a 10-10 round if the round, in their eyes, was completely even and there was nothing between the fighters. Okay? And you can go 10-10. Okay, now, are 10-10 rounds really allowed in boxing? Yes, they are. Now, a judge has the right to score a round even, just as they do to score a 10-8 without a knockdown. But judges are usually encouraged to avoid 10-8, 10-10 rounds as much as possible, and to only use these scores if they truly feel it's the correct appraisal of that round. This urging is to ensure that they are not overused. Okay? The 10-10 round in particular can become too easy a fallback option for judges. Follow me? So they are discouraged because some judges could just, you can't see who wins, is real close. Just give it 10-10. So they're discouraged to not overuse that 10-10. And I can see where that could happen. Now, are points deducted for breaking the rules? Yep. In addition to the above, the referee can instruct all 3 judges to deduct the point from a fighter in any given round. They will do so if a fighter has done something to break the rules, such as an intentional foul, low blow, headbutt, or Mike Tyson, Edgar Berlanga favorite, fighting an opponent, especially their ear, like Mike did. Yeah, Thomas, Remo, good point. Remo says Tank didn't get a 10-8 round for the Ryan knockdown. That's why boxing can't be trusted. Yeah. Right. That's why, this 10-point must system, it's very what's the word? Like I was saying yesterday, the judges are it's up to the judges a lot of this. That's why, a lot of it is not error. A lot of it is cheating, Tank definitely should have got a 10-8 round. Ryan didn't. So if he didn't get a knockdown, was Ryan going to get the 10-8? The way they saying it. Ryan, other than the knockdown, they saying Ryan must have really dominated the round. One judge gave him 10-10, Remo, remember? On the round he got knocked down, and didn't a judge, one of them give him 10-10? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was crazy. But yeah. A referee can also decide that a fighter has committed Accidental fouls far too much. That is unacceptable, and deduct the point for repeated offenses of accidental fouls. Right now, okay. So when they're doing the scoring, what do boxing judges look for? What are they looking for? Okay. Here are the following areas in which boxing judges are encouraged to determine who won or lost a round. Okay. Now, these are the exact things that they give points for in rounds. Okay. That's what we always wonder. What is the criteria? What are the guidelines? First thing judges look for: effective aggression. Okay. Being aggressive gives the impression of dominance. But unless the boxer is landing shots and not constantly getting counted, it isn't really effective. Okay? So there's a difference from being aggressive and effective aggression. Okay? Now, judges look for effective aggression, where the aggressor consistently lands punches and avoids those from his opponent. Okay? That's important. And a lot of people look at fights, oh, he was the aggressor. He should have won that round. He might have been the aggressor, but was he the effective aggressor? You can be the aggressor and still be getting landed on and all of that, right? Effective aggression is, again, consistently landing punches and avoiding those from your opponent. Okay? So you follow me? There's a big difference between being the aggressor and being the effective aggressor. And judges are supposed to look for effective aggressor. I know y'all heard people, he was the aggressor, he should have won. But was he the effective aggressor? Excellent point right there. Excellent. So remember that when you're watching fights from now on. Don't look at just if somebody being aggressive or they're being effectively aggressive. Constantly landing punches and avoiding those from their opponent. Because I see boxers being aggressive all the time, getting pieced up. That's not effective aggression. Judges are supposed to look for effective aggression, not aggression. Okay? Now, number 2, ring generalship. Okay? Now, the fighter who controls the action and enforces their will and style. Ring generalship. That's it in a nutshell. The fighter who controls the action and enforces their will and style. That's why Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray won. Sugar Ray Leonard won. A lot of people say, well, Sugar Ray pulled it out, but he fought Duran's style. And Duran got a lot of points in those rounds from that. That's called ring generalship. When another fighter is fighting your style, that's part of ring generalship. And judges are supposed to give you points for that. Okay? So, and they looked at it like Duran was forcing Sugar Ray to fight his style because Sugar Ray fought his style. He didn't fight like he normally fought. Him and Duran had 2 completely different styles, and the entire fight was fought in Duran's style, so he got points for that. Sugar Ray's own fault. What were the judges supposed to do? Okay, so that's part of ring generalship. The fighter who controls the action and enforces their will and style. Okay? Hard and clean punches. To the untrained eye, it can appear as if a boxer is landing a lot of shots, when in fact, most are being blocked or aren't landing flush. A judge needs to look for hard shots that land clean. That's why I don't like that compa box, okay? They make a compa box sound like it's some kind of computerized thing, but it's just 2 human beings hitting some buttons, right? They need to find another name for that because there's nothing computerized about it, okay? It's just human beings hitting buttons. They call it compa box like it's some kind of something on the gloves going to a computer or something. That's what I thought it was at first. But then I found out compa box ain't nothing but somebody hitting some buttons. Not computerized at all. Okay. Hard and clean punches. The judge has to look for hard shots that land clean. Okay. So those are the three main things judges look for. Let's review. Effective aggression. Not just aggression. Effective aggression. Okay. Constantly landing shots and not getting countered. Okay. Ring generalship. The fighter who controls the action and enforces their will and style. Oh, wait a minute. There's another one. I missed one. Effective aggression, ring generalship, and defense. How could I forget defense? That's part of it. Okay. Defense. How well is a boxer slipping, parrying, and blocking punches? Good defense is important. Okay. So effective aggression, ring generalship, defense, hard and clean punches. That's what judges are supposed to look for. Now, the way some of these fights we've been watching, they can't be looking for that stuff with some of these scores they come up with. Okay. Now, let's look at the types of boxing decisions that we can have, like split, unanimous, whatever. Okay. If nobody has won via knockout after the scheduled number of rounds is completed, the judges' round-by-round scorecards throughout the fight will determine the winner. I always thought, I think Thomas Hill said this too. The judges' scorecards should be taken after every round, and the public, the fans should be let know each round how it was scored. Like any other sport, like football. We don't find out the final score at the end of the game. We see it as the game going on, So why can't boxing be like that? Like after round 5 rounds, so-and-so winning 3 rounds to 2, or after 7, so-and-so is 3-3 or 4-3. Instead of just seeing Harold Letterman or somebody put their nonsense up there, unofficial. Why can't we have the official score during the fight? Is that too far-fetched? I don't think so. What would be wrong with it? That's what it is, right? They scoring it round by round. So why can't we know round by round? Y'all think that's a good idea? I do. Why we can't know the scores of the fight round by round if they scoring it round by round, right? But sometimes you see them get over there and take all that time to handing the cards in. They changing them round by round scores. Because who they wanted to win, somebody that messed up and was scoring it right. So now they got to change it to the way they wanted it. You've seen those times where all the scorecards taking forever to come in. Okay. So I would think get the scores round by round, then they can't change it. Because we know after 8 rounds it was 4-4. So all of a sudden it's 10-2 now after 12. The man had 4 after 8. You won't be able to change it. Right? I just think that's a good idea. Okay, now we're going to talk about the types of decisions. Now, the judges' round by round scores throughout the fight will determine the winner. With each round being worth a maximum of 10 points, that means a fighter can score as high as 120 in a 12-round fight, 100 in a 10-round fight, and so on. Now, the 3 judges will each have an overall winner, or perhaps have scored the fight dead even. Here are the various results that can lead to unanimous decision. Okay, self-explanatory. All 3 judges have the same fighter ahead on their scorecards, right? Unanimous. Across the board. Fighter number A went on all 3. Split decision. 2 judges have fighter A winning, while 1 judge have fighter B winning. That means fighter A wins because you got to get the majority. Majority of 3 is 2, right? So fighter A had 2. Fighter A wins a split decision. Majority decision is when 2 judges had 1 fighter winning, while the 3rd judge scores it a draw. Okay. 2 judges gave it to fighter A. The 3rd judge scored it a draw. So the winner didn't get a unanimous decision, but he did get the majority. Okay, so it's called a majority decision, right? Now, we also had the draw, 3 types of draws. Same thing, unanimous draw. If one judge, okay, now do it this way. If one judge has boxer A, one judge has boxer B, and the third judge has it a draw, that is called a split draw. And a split draw is the only decision where all 3 judges rule differently. A split draw. Remember, one judge had A, one had B, one had draw. 3 different decisions. That's the only one. Okay. Now, if all 3 judges call it a draw, it's a unanimous draw, right? However, there's also a majority draw, right? Say one judge gives it to fighter A, 2 judges call it a draw. Fighter A does not win because he did not get the majority. What's the majority? The majority is the draw with the 2 judges, so it's a majority draw. Okay? Those are the types of decisions. Okay. Now, I want to look at this other thing. Bear with me for a minute. This other interesting article I wanted to read to you because I like it. I read a lot of stuff, and my wife get mad. Miss Cass get mad at me because I be wrapped up in reading and in the internet, and probably too much, to tell you the truth. Man, they'd have had this when we was young. Wow, you might be done left my ass by now. I know Miss Cass listening to it. Nah, we okay. We got 40 years. She probably be glad when I get the hell away from her and be out here in the internet and stuff. Say something, Miss Cass. She must have got off. Okay. Now, this article is called "Inside the Wild Effing West of Boxing Judging." Inside the Wild Effing West of Boxing Judging, and it's by Chris Mannix. Pretty good article. Check it out. Now, there's only a few hundred licensed boxing judges in the United States. And the job is an unglamorous but critical part of the sport. So true. So true. Yeah. Now, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Thanks. Yeah, Remo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was still reading that last comment about Tank and Ryan. Yeah, that was terrible. That's why, they have all these rules, and they do have rules and guidelines for the judges, but they don't follow them. That's the problem. People always say, what are the guidelines and stuff the judge is supposed to go by? They are in place, but if only they would follow them. Because no way Tank shouldn't have got a 10-8 round. Ryan was not dominating that round like that before or after the knockdown. Didn't one judge give him a 10-10? I know it was 10-9. None of them gave Tank a 10-8, right? And that was totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Okay. Now, the wild effing world of boxing judges. Steve Weisfeld can trace his interest in boxing judging to the day, January 24th, 1976. It was the day his grandmother, Dora, passed away. Also that day, George Foreman, in his first fight after losing his heavyweight title to Muhammad Ali, faced Ron Lau. Okay. The Weisfeld's family, grieving his grandmother's passing, watched Foreman pick up a fifth round knockout. Okay. Now they enjoyed the action. Weisfeld was 10 years old at the time. Okay. Remember Steve Weisfeld, the boxing judge. Pretty good judge, I guess. Now, Dave Moretti is still judging. He judged the Sugar Ray Leonard Marvin Hagler fight almost 40 years ago. And he's still judging to this day. He did Devin and Lomachenko, remember? I didn't know he had been judging that long, but he has been. Now, Whitefield's family was watching the fight. Foreman beat Lau, 5th round knockout. Okay. They enjoyed the fight. 10-year-old Whitefield remembers wanting the right guy to win. Okay. And he said, I was hooked after that. That it was a knockout, so the right guy won. Didn't go to the judges. Globally, there are a few thousand licensed boxing judges, with a few hundred in the U.S. There's no national commission. Each state has its own licensing criteria. Whitefield was first licensed in New Jersey, which required judges to have 5 years of amateur experience. After that, there was a 1-year apprentice program that included attending every fight in the state. Wow. Whitefield recalls regularly making a 3-hour drive from Fairlawn to Atlantic City and back to observe fights. He had to go to every fight in the state, man. Ooh. Isn't that something? That's a lot of fights. Okay. Now, he remember doing a lot of driving, going back and forth to where he lived, to Atlantic City, where the fights was back then. Now, today, Whitefield has been licensed to judge fights in roughly half the states in the United States. Judges licensed in reputable states like New Jersey or Nevada are often licensed by other states' commissions without any extra training. Okay, so if you're licensed in New Jersey, Nevada, other states usually just pick you up. You don't really have to go through much else to get your license there, right? Now, Whitefield will judge 25 to 30 fights per year. It isn't a glamorous job. He flies in on Friday. He works the card Saturday. A judge often doesn't know which fights he was working until the day of the fight. And then he flies out Sunday, the day after the fight. It isn't especially lucrative either. Judges make anywhere from $75 to $100 to work club shows, to a few thousand for bigger ones. Is that all? I mean, you're judging this fight where both fighters making $20 million and you just getting a few thousand. That's why they cheat. They're human beings. Okay. Now you sitting there making a few $1,000s. Here comes the Godfather. So you fill your card out like this. I give you 10,000. What you gonna do? You know, they're human beings. I wouldn't cheat, but some people would. Now the Godfather come with the right price. Hey, I might just give him what he wants. Everybody got their price. That's what the $1 Million Man said. You got to come with at least 6 digits. The Boxing Menu Podcast in the building. Salute Boxing Menu Podcast. What do you say? Blue Blood leaked Calvin's address. He what? Why would he do some mess like that for? Wow. He was in there last night. Blue Blood was in the chat on the rise last night. Sending money and everything, man. I think he sent like $50. Why would he leak the man's address? Wow. I don't know. That's not cool. I don't know. Let me move on. Okay. But salute Boxing Menu Podcast. How are you today, bro? Yeah. It says judging is not lucrative. Make anywhere from $75 to $100 to work club shows and a few thousand for the bigger ones. Whitefield is a Cornell Law School graduate. He works full-time as a real estate attorney. Okay, so judges got other jobs too. Okay. Just like any kind of referee from other sports, football referees, boxing umpires, all those guys got other jobs, in the off season and stuff, right? Now, Whitefield worked the fourth fight between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez. Okay, now that was a back and forth battle until Marquez detonated a right hand that made Whitefield's scorecard irrelevant. Yeah, man, I thought he had killed Manny. Now, some experiences for Whitefield were less memorable. In 2011, he was in Argentina working a 105-pound title fight, minimum weight, between Luis Lazarte, a local favorite, and Ulysses Solis. Whitefield, along with the other two judges, scored the fight for Solis. The boos were deafening, says Whitefield. We got out of there pretty quick. Oh, you didn't get the Bill treatment. Remember, after the Loma fight, somebody hit Bill upside the head with a bottle. Now, the Association of Boxing Commissions offers general rules for boxing judges, but they are more about preparation. Eat light at least 4 to 5 hours before than actually scoring before. Okay, so these rules are generally more about preparation than actually scoring a fight. Whitefield tries to keep it simple. When scoring rounds, he looks for who lands the most punches. He tracks effective punches. When both are close, it's down to which fighter appeared to control the round. What happened to the effective aggression and the defense and the ring generalship? Judging, says Whitefield, is a tremendous responsibility. Judges are a lightning rod for criticism, and many don't have anything close to the training Whitefield received. It's the Wild effing West out there, says one promoter. A bad decision, especially for young fighters, can be career damaging. Whitefield says his objective is the same and was in his living room watching Foreman Lau get it right. We're trying to make a difference for fighters, says Whitefield, and make a positive impact on the sport. I just thought that was just a good article coming straight from a boxing judge, Yeah. Okay. Boxing judging. Okay, now I'm gonna drop the link. Now we have more time today. Let me do this first. One more thing. Where was it? Okay, you remember we got Pro Box tonight. Some good fights on there too. We got this one guy that's got he's knocked out his opponent in his last 2 fights. He took 4.5 years off, but his 2 fights back, he's knocked both guys out. I forget his name. Let me tell you in a minute. Okay. Bear with me. His name is Trevor Makumba, right? And he's 27-0. Then we got a nice prospect on the card. He's in the first fight. Okay. His name is what is his name? Okay. Yeah. Michael Gamble. 6-0, 4 knockouts out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Remember the name, Michael Gamble. Okay, I tell you, you see some pretty good stuff on Pro Box. And the first fight is Angelo Leo. He's going up against Mike Plania. That should be a good one. Angelo Leo is a former junior featherweight champion. He lost his belt to Cool Boy himself, okay, back in 2021. And if Leo can pull this one off, he will probably be in line for a title shot in his next couple of fights. Okay, I think he's at featherweight now. Yeah, he's at featherweight now. Okay. Now, how do you become a boxing judge real quick? To become an official with USA Boxing, you must register with USA Boxing each calendar year, okay? Then you must complete the Safe Sport certification course online, and then either take the online officials test or attend an in-person officials clinic given by your LBC, Local Boxing Commission. Okay, I'm gonna drop the link in. We got like 40 minutes today, because we usually up here cooking nice, and then it's time to get out of here every time. Okay, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about up here. Okay, bear with me for a minute while I drop this link in. Okay, everybody, Wednesday hump day going by okay? We got, well, the Super Bowl is next week. They putting that week in between this year. They don't do that every year. Some years they go on and have the very next week, but this year it's going to be not this Sunday, next Sunday. Raiders Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. This time around. Yep. San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Not the result I wanted, but that's what we got. You know, Ravens fell a little short. But you know, that game, for as bad as they played, to still have a chance to win it at the end was amazing, man, because that could have very easily been like 28-7 or something that first half. Now, the defense clamped down in the second half, but they were just pushing us up and down the field in the first half. But then the third quarter, when Terrell Suggs, former Ravens linebacker, came out there and did that dance, it just seemed like they clamped down and Kansas City didn't get anything else after that. What's up, Fender Bender? Fender Bender, straight out of Kentucky, is in the building. Salute, Fender Bender. We were talking about boxing judges. Now I'm going to drop the link. We got like 30-40 minutes left in the show. Yeah, but I was talking about that game the Ravens lost Sunday. 17-10 only, and you know, that first half was totally up one side. And the whole game, I think they had like the time of possession, they like doubled us. I know in the first half they had like 21 minutes. We had like 9, because it's 30 minutes and a half. We only had the ball for like 9 minutes. They had it for like 20-something. Okay, and we were only behind 17-7. So that could have been bad, you know, and still had a chance to win it at the end. But the key pivotal play in the game was that Trey Flowers penalty. Not the fumble going across the goal line, that was bad, but when he got the taunting penalty, because we would have been inside the 10 first and goal. You got a big, powerful back like Gus Evans. Just give it to him 4 times. He would have got to the end zone. So when Flowers got that penalty, that put us back outside the 25. That was huge. That was huge, dude. You know, and as good and poised as he played all season, being a rookie showed up at that point, man. You know, he just got overexcited. And when the game began, you could see the difference. Kansas City looked like a team that had been there 6 straight years in the championship game. And I think the Ravens, they looked like a team that only had one player on the roster that had ever played in a championship game, Odell Beckham. I don't think they had anybody else. But there's always next year. But I think we're losing one of our linebackers, Patrick Queen, and him and Roquan Smith, they anchored that defense, man. I sure wish they could sign Patrick Queen again, but he's not in the plans. But they got another younger linebacker that's, stepping in and might get the job done. But salute the Fender man. Okay, here's the link. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. That's the good thing about it. There's always next year because we didn't get it done this year. A little slow today. Lagging behind on the likes. I used to get like 22. Only got 18. Got 30 one time. But I'm a growing channel. And I'm going to get there one day. I'm hooked up in the right system. This JBT. Yeah. But how is everybody today? Tomorrow we're going to talk about trainers, former trainers, current trainers. Friday's going to be promotional companies. Today was on judging. And all these things I went over, you can clearly see a lot of judges don't go by those guidelines. A lot of them have an agenda that they're given by promotional companies or the sanctioning body, They're told who's supposed to win. And they're human beings. And they don't make a lot of money, So when they come to you and tell you, you can make this, if you make this certain decision, what you're going to do. A lot of people are going to make that decision. Here are some different boxing judges from over the years. Jorge Lucille, Frank Cappuccino, Stanley Cristodolo. He was a referee too. We talked about him yesterday. Matt Comert, Howard Crocker, Ray Dansico, Hubert Earl, Perry Gibbs referee, Frank Greenleaf, Carl Letterman, the damn judge. Just some names. Carol Paulus, she was the first female judge. Carol Paulus, yeah. We don't have any judges in the Hall of Fame. I don't know about that. Anybody know? I guess they could go if they do the job right and qualify. But that one judge, that lady, Adelaide Bird, she's the wife of Robert Bird, the referee. She's horrible. Always mixed up in some kind of controversy or something. Who is Kermit Bayless? And if he's in relation to Kenny. Here she is, Adelaide Bird. Yeah. Her husband was a referee, Robert. Pro box tonight. 4 fights on the card. 10 o'clock. Yup. I got put down with it about 2 months ago. And oh shoot, lost my page. Here we go. Fender Bender says, one of these days you'll have to talk about the boxers that just couldn't leave the streets behind, or the street life. Also, Sweet Pea. We'd love to hear the stories about him. So tragic his death. Yeah, he got hit by a car, didn't he? Fender Bender crossing the street or something. Yeah, that was tragic. Yeah, he was young. Yeah. Hardcore boxing news. Salute. Yeah, we just finished the talk about judges. Yeah. Fender Bender was talking about Sweet Pea's tragic death. Yeah, that was bad. He got hit by a car crossing the street, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, got taken away early. But that's it. You're here today, you're going tomorrow. You never know. Yeah. I heard that Crawford versus Spence rematch fell through or something. You might hear anything about that? Crawford versus Spence rematch fell through for a variety of reasons. Wow. I didn't think we were going to get that anyway. No. I think we're going to get Crawford Canelo. And they saying like it's for sure. It's for sure it's not going to happen. Yeah. Says cataract surgery throws a curveball at him. Dan Raphael. Earl's recent cataract surgery. Yeah. Unclear how long you're going to be out, man. You know, your eyes, you can't play with your eyes. I had surgery on both eyes. Turn down the pressure. You know, I take a drop every day to keep the pressure down. Now, I could have surgery and might not have to use the drops, but, you know, the one doctor recommended as long as the drops are working, you know, stay away from the surgery. So I'll settle for the drops. As long as they working, you know, good. But I did have eye surgery on both eyes one time because my pressure was up there, man. Yeah. They had to go in there and turn it down. Both eyes. They did it like 2 weeks apart. They did one, then let a couple of weeks go by. Then they did the other one. Yeah, one at a time. And I made it through. Boxing menu. Boxing Menu Podcast says 30 minutes. We got the voice coming in. Just do boxing. Stay hardcore at 8. 8 plus 8 equals the hangout. The Rise Podcast closes it down at 9, as they do every night for the JBT. We had that fire episode of hashtag Let's Talk Fashion this morning from Remo. Another episode of hashtag Let's Talk Fashion this morning. Another fire show. I forgot to turn my phone down, sorry. Fender Bender says, I'm way behind, sorry. Man lived through all he did and then be taken out by a truck. Yeah, Fender Bender, wasn't that something? Yeah. Boxing Menu Podcast says, Jay Hardcore. You heard about last night's show and Blue Blood on the Rise. It's on YouTube. What happened? I was in the Rise last night. He was on there sending money and carrying on. I was on there. What happened? But yeah, I'm looking at this thing that they are talking like Spence and Crawford. It's just not happening, man. Crawford then moved on. He's going after Canelo. I don't agree with that. I think when you're going through these weight classes, you got to do it the old-fashioned way, man. 47, 54, 60, 68. You don't go from 47 to 68. Especially now that go up there against the undisputed champion. Come on, man. Look at Mel. Perfect example. 54 to 68. Look what happened to him. One thing got demolished. Okay. Now, Maul, he's coming from 60 to 68. That's the way you do it. That's the way it's always been done. You know? Step by step. Crawford is a bad man and all, but if he goes up from 47 to 68 and beat Canelo, you got to be GOAT. Got to start coming to the conversation. I'm not saying he's the GOAT, but he got to get into that conversation. You go jump three weight classes and beat the undisputed champion. You got to be in the conversation for GOAT. If he can do that, okay. That's just if he can do it. Okay. Remo says, I think Crawford way more skilled than Canelo. I'm worried about the weight difference. Me too, Remo. That's exactly it, man. Way skilled than Canelo. Pound for pound, he killed Canelo, you know. But that's pound for pound. If they were like both of the same weight or something, normally he would kill Canelo. But jumping 3 weight classes, I don't know about that, you know. Because this weight class is for a reason, you know. I mean, very simple. That one sentence. There's weight classes for a reason, you know. Now, he's going to get a nice bag out of it. Is that it? Or is he really betting on himself? I don't know. You see what Mel did? You know, Mel was all docile and calm and everything. Wasn't even himself at all leading up to that fight, man. Clearly just going for a bag. Didn't even hide it. He wasn't a normally animated, loud, hostile Mel that he normally is. You know? Looked like he about ready to, one of them press conferences, jump up and ask Canelo for his autograph or something. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah. That wasn't Mel. And he went in there and got his bag. You know? Is that what Crawford doing? You know, 3 weight classes is a long ways, man. 47 to 68, that's 21 pounds. You know? Something has to be affected. You can't be the same person, man. You know, going up that many 3 weight classes like that. No. Just can't. I don't think it can happen. I'm picking Canelo. You know. I'm picking Canelo. He might, I don't know if he stops, but it's just a lot. It's asking a lot, man. But he's going to get a nice bag, though. So, hey, like Mel did. But then, well, how does Canelo keep getting away with this stuff? Now, you know, 2 out of his last 3 fights was against people that never even fought at 168. Triple G had never fought there, and Mel. Only one 68-pounder he's fought in his last few fights. Last 3 fights has been John Ryder. Okay. You got Benavidez, Morrell. Well, he did fight Plant a few years back. But take a guy like Benavidez. You've been fighting at 168 for years. But you got to sit there and watch the undisputed champion bring guys from 2 and 3 weight classes below you and get them title shots in the division you've been fighting for years. What kind of shit is that, man? But nobody talks about stripping him. Instead, they strip the man that comes up to fight him. They strip Mel. Nobody said nothing about stripping Canelo. They don't dare strip Canelo, man. especially not Mauricio. Oh, hell no. They might run Mauricio out of Mexico. He stripped Canelo. He might not be able to move back down there. Miss Joette in the building. Salute, Miss Joette. How are you today? Good to see you. Welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the History Channel. Winding down to The Voice. Just do boxing. Did y'all check out that fire episode of hashtag Let's Talk Fashion today? Remo, new joint. Remo's new joint. Got some fire content down there today. Yeah. Yeah. Got one of our queens of the hangout in here today. Miss Cass was in here. Where she? I think her moving around out there. I don't think she's in here. We've had Miss Just Do in here before. Now Miss Joette is in here. Always good to see the queens. Yes. Oh, she out there cooking. But yeah, I don't think Bud is gonna be able to do it, man. I really don't. Now, if he goes up there and does it, will I be surprised? Not really. Not really. If anybody can do it, it'll be Buzz. Okay, you really I enjoyed it too, Miss Joette. It was really a good episode. Yeah. There's Fender Bender. He says, Ms. Joette comes in the door. Don't think we ain't caught that new pick looking like $2,000 penny. What new pick? Is that new? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even see that. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Yeah. Nice. What happened? Yeah, but I don't think Budrick can do it, man. That's 3 weight classes. We have weight classes for a reason. You know? Now, if he did it the right way, 147, 154, 160, 168, I would pick him, you know. Took a fight at each one, but then I don't know how long Canelo would be around or how long, because Bud is 6, something like that. So yeah, you have to look at the age factor and the time. So you got to make that jump to get that money. That's what I think it is, a money grab, man. Just like Mel, you know. Bud trying to get that bag. Like Keith was getting ready to get his. You know, he getting knocked out, but he's going to get his bag and get on up out of there, Keith is. Zoo's going to stop him to the body. Pressure fight a big puncher like Zoo. And you know, already seen Thurman spit his mouthpiece out not once, a couple times during fights. Just like I said the other day, Zoo catch him right in that body, he might swallow it. You know? Yeah. The fight ain't going the distance. But where is that, in Vegas or is that in Australia? If it's in Australia, it's not going over 3 or 4 rounds. Because Lou's gonna have him in that little walk-in closet, like he had Tony Harrison in, remember? And Keith ain't gonna have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Now in Vegas, might have a bigger ring and he can run for a while, because Keith still got that escapability, okay? But over there in Australia, in that little walk-in closet, Lou's gonna have him fighting in? 2 or 3 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, Tim will get him out of there. Because Keith's gonna take a pounding. You know what I mean? No, I don't think so, Miss Joette. I think it's too much of a jump. That's what I think about it. Yeah, I think it's too much of a jump up. Now, if him and Canelo were at the same weight, I think Bud washes it. Be something like similar to a Spence type performance. If they were both at the same, say Bud was at 168 or they both were at 147 or something. Same weight class. Pound for pound, Bud is levels above Canelo. But jumping up 3 weight classes? Nah. I can't go for that. No, can do. I can't go for that. No, I'm picking Canelo. Yeah. But like I just said, if Bud goes up there and does it, I wouldn't be surprised. If anybody can do it, it'll be old Bud Crawford. But I just don't think he's gonna do it. But they talking like it's gonna happen in September. It's gonna be Maul or Munguia or Cinco de Mayo. When is that? May? Yeah. And then Canelo fights on those 2 dates. And it's gonna be Bud in September is what? Mexican Independence Day or something, right? Some kind of holiday. Oh, Cinco de Mayo, yeah, they both some kind of Mexican holidays or something, right? I don't think so. Do you think he can get it, Miss Joette? You think Bud can go up there and get him? Oh, you would? Okay, yeah, you agree. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think Bud stands a chance. No. It's just too much. That's 21 pounds. This man has never fought above 147. I could see if he had maybe been to 154 or something before and came back there, but he's never even been past 147. Bud came from down there 135 or something. I don't think he's been as low as 135. Has he? Anybody know? I think it was 135. Did Bud go below 135? Anybody know? I'm not sure. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Uh-oh. Yeah, are you in the chat? You in the chat? Oh, okay. Yeah, Bud, okay. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I was asking, has Bud been below 135 or did he start at 135 or 130? I know somebody knows. I'm not sure. But that's where he came from, And 168 is a stretch for him, man. Yeah. They don't usually go that far. Roberto Duran did it. He went all the way to 68 from, I think Roberto Duran started at 30, junior lightweight. Yeah, but that's not that often. I know Ann told me about some guy that went from featherweight to heavyweight. George Carpenter, back in the day, like in the 20s. He went from 126 all the way to heavyweight, man. Wow. Now but he didn't just jump. He did it gradually, the right way. He went through the classes, see? He worked his way through. He was fighting at different weight classes on the way up. Now if they had time, Bud could just work his way through on up. I would pick him then. But just jumping from 47 to 64, 47 to 68, no. That ain't happening. Sorry, Bud. I like Bud. No, I don't either, Miss Joey. Down there, 147, 154. I don't think there's anybody. I even think he gets boots right now. And if he stayed around another year or so, I would go with boots. But right now, I pick Bud over everybody around that area. Yeah. 47, 54. Yeah. I got Bud against everybody down there. But, talking 68. No. Remo said, Coach Kenny said it's a fantasy fight that wouldn't happen. But the only mega fight for Tank is Bud. What? The rest are good fights, but no mega, even Devin. Tank is a little guy, man. 147? Wow. Oh no. He's only 5'5". I think Tank stops at 140. Yeah, he's saying it won't happen, right, Remo? The 147. Bennett says it's the same thing with Haney and Tank. Tank staying disciplined, staying around 130, 140, and Haney belong 180 all day. Yeah. I don't see that happening either, friend of Brenda. Too much. The weight differential is just too much. A lot of people always keep saying they don't want to talk about weight when you talk about Tank and Devin, but it's a factor. You got one guy 5'5", and the other guy, it looks like he could be a linebacker in the NFL. So weight is a factor between them guys. It needs to be talked about. I don't think that fight happens ever. Tank and Devin. Too much weight differential. That's too much. Miss Joette says, right, as much as I hate to say it, I don't know. If Boots can beat Bud, either, unfortunately. Oh, she said, I don't know if Boots can beat Bud either, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think so, Miss Joette. Not now. Now, give me a year or so. Put another year's worth of age on Bud and a year's experience on Boots. Then I would say, if it's like January 2025, I give Boots a better chance. But right now, January 2024, nah. I think Bud takes it. Decision. Good fight, though. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to beat on Earl. Because Boots got a lot more in the gas tank and the toolbox than Earl, and Boots is a lot more athletic. Bud ain't on just control Boots with no jab. No. No. It's going to be a lot tougher than that. You know? It will be a very good fight. Very good fight. And everybody keeps talking about two switch. Where the two switch hitters at? Bud ain't no switch hitter no more. It's one switch hitter, Boots. Bud might fight 30 seconds of round one orthodox. Then the rest of the fight he's southpaw. Bud is not a switch hitter. Bud hasn't been a switch hitter for a minute now. I would say since, where was it? Earl Porter. Who was before Porter? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to pull up Bud's box score. But Bud is not a switch hitter. No. It's not no two switch hitters. It's Boots against a switch hitter against Bud. When the last time Bud fought over a round as orthodox? He might switch back up into the fight for like 10 seconds or something. But he doesn't fight orthodox long enough anymore to be considered a switch hitter. Nah. Nope. No. Just like Kell Brook, something like that, since Bud been a switch hitter. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It would be an amazing fight, Miss Joette. Bud and Boots, yes. That would be. We would say he beat the dog shit out of Earl. With whatever stance. That was he definitely could switch. He did that primarily southpaw, Remo. Remember? Primarily southpaw. Yeah. He wasn't no switch hitter against Earl. He was a southpaw. Yeah. But you all right. You get it, Mr. Joey. You all right. Come 1,000% correct, Remo. He beat the dog shit out of him. Yeah, that was ugly, man. That was ugly. That was ugly, man. And I always thought that whatever weight they do it at again, it would be the same thing. Yep. I always thought it don't make a difference. 147, 154. Some fighters just have your number, man, you know. And you know, styles make fights. And Earl always got away with that fundamental, good style, fundamental, precious, aggressive style was always enough. But, you know, Bud just had too much for him, you know. That style is not good against Bud. It was always enough against everybody else, easily. But, no. And he can't change. Like Derrick James was telling him, turn him and stuff. But that was not stuff that Earl was used to doing in fights, right? You know? And you can't come into the biggest fight of your career and start doing stuff different. You got to do what got you there. And what got him there wasn't enough. So Derek was definitely, I heard the dummies talking about get rid of Derek. Derek was definitely giving him good advice, but it was things that Earl just don't do, man. You know? Mm-mm. Earl either sits there and comes forward, plant that back foot, push off of it with that jab, come behind it with that power left hand, and back you up. That's what he does. That didn't work against Bud, man. Bud wasn't going back. And when Earl tried it, he got put on his ass. And I was Team Earl. I was Team Earl. But I'm just saying what happened, you know. I'm just saying what happened. Okay, so what is going on in there? Yeah, you're right. What do y'all think about the finally got Gary Russell versus Leo Seneca? Is that happening, Remo? Oh, if we finally got it. Oh, man. Two old fossils. I don't know. Remo, that would be good. That would be good. That would be good. Yeah. I would love to see that too, Miss Joette. That would be good. I can't call that one. That's a good fight, Remo. Yeah. Fender Bennett says he felt every punch after Earl got hurt. I was watching the TV like them people post dogs making faces. Oh, ow. Yeah, that was bad, Fender Bennett. After that first knockdown, man. Did you see how red Earl's face was? What was that? I mean, I see fighters get all bruised up and swollen, but I've never seen nobody's face get red. It was like blood was clotting up under his skin or something. Did anybody else notice that? How red his face got during that fight, man? That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I would like to see that too, though, Miss Joette. You talking about Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell? Yeah. I never thought about that, but that would be good, Remo. Where is Leo Santa Cruz at anyway? Is he still fighting? Has he fought since the Tank knockout? I can't remember anything since the Tank knockout. Leo Santa Cruz. And I thought he had retired or something. Earl could only listen to what Derek was saying. His brain was scrambled by then. Yeah, that's right, Remo. That is a good point. He couldn't do nothing, man. He couldn't do nothing. Because everything he was doing everything that got in there wasn't working. That's what I was saying. The things he had always done, man. You know how you always push off that back foot and come forward with that right jab and then follow up with that left hand and drive people back to the ropes like he was doing Ugas, driving backwards. That wasn't working. When he tried that, he got dropped. And his whole face said it like, damn, that's my best shit. He dropped me. So, you know, when you try your best stuff on somebody and then you get knocked on the mat, man, that's kind of discouraging. And it was only the second round. I could see if it waited till like the 10th to get him, but that was the second round. You still got 10 more rounds. And you're like, God damn, what I'm going to do? You can see it all in his face. And I was Team Earl. He was like, what am I going to do, man? Who still got the belt, Remo? Remo says, yeah, he still got a belt at 130. Who? Oh, Leo? Okay. Leo? But has he fought since the Tank knockout? I don't remember seeing Leo since then. No. Yeah, that was vicious. That's the kind of knockout that make you retire. And Leo was doing good up to that point. Yeah, he was well in the fight. But Tank, that uppercut was there the entire fight for him, man. It was there the entire fight. And he knew it. Tank knew it. And he knew it was only a matter of time before he got it in. Yeah. And Leo I think he threw like 3 straight overhand rights or something, didn't he? Yeah. Tank got a way of trapping them, making them think they're doing good and being successful. Then whammo. Remember Rolly threw those 2 right hands to the body, then got knocked out. I think Leo threw 3, didn't he? 3 overhand rights, straight overhand rights at Tank. Before Tank put that boo-bop bang on him. And that man was laying up against that ring post, hard-ass ring post sleep. Somebody should have gave him a pillow. Or took the jacket off or something, put it behind his head. Because that man, well, he was still smiling. He was still smiling. But up against that hard ring post. I don't know what he thought when he woke up. Is the fight over? But he was all right. That was a good part. He was okay. You know? He was okay. Coach Yent was older than Goody. What is that? Fender Bender? Barroso? Okay. Tank versus Manny. Manny who? What are y'all talking about, man? Tank versus Manny. Y'all must be joking. Oh, Leo had a fight since then. Okay. He haven't had many. They talking about Floyd versus Manny. Who wants to see that? Wow, I gotta get out of here. It's time for The Voice. Man, time flies when you're having fun. But I'll be back tomorrow, though. Hope all of y'all come back. We're gonna talk about some legendary trainers. Some old legendary trainers, plus some new legendary trainers. You know? Some good ones out there. Calvin Ford, Kenny Ellis, Derek James, plus the old ones, Emmanuel Stewart, Angelo Dundee, Eddie Futch. So we're gonna cover some of them tomorrow, and I'm gonna put some new ones in there too. And you know Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis gonna be in there, okay? Because it's my chat, and this is a Face of Boxing channel. Okay, but we're gonna talk about trainers tomorrow. But okay, appreciate everybody to join me today. Miss Joette, one of the queens of the JBT, Fender Bender, Boxing Mania Podcast, Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT, Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT, Remo, hashtag JBT. Good job this morning, Remo, on the hashtag Let's Talk Fashion. Proud of you, boy. Okay. The Boxing Mania Podcast. I said that. Excuse me. Mike Ryan, Tim Layton, hashtag JBT. Mike Masick. Ace was in the building today. Oh, we see Ace over at Rise Podcast. Ace, if you're still in here, I hope it's not your last time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Al Booger was in here. And the first person in here today was the one and the only, the Rise Podcast. Be on tonight at 9 o'clock. Fire show last night. Fire show every night. And remember, 8 o'clock. Well, next is Just Do Boxing at 4. 8 o'clock is J Hardcore again, because 8 plus 8 equals the Hangout. Then the Rise Podcast gonna shut it down for the JBT. Close the door, turn on the lights for the JBT as they do every night. But I appreciate everybody that continues to rock with my growing channel. Okay? This is Cash Sports, y'all. Everybody have a good day.